So one of my students asked me that why is there so much trash on the road, or why are the streets not clean, and like why are there so many places where you'll see piles and piles of trash. And for some context, I teach in an NGO on weekends, and I'm talking about an industrial area. This is near Delhi border. So I found that question very fascinating because uh, these kids, they're like they're very they're very smart, and they observe very well their surroundings, and they come up with questions that sometimes I'm not able to answer. So I was thinking about it, and I came to realize that this phenomena can be explained by something that you call the free rider problem. So if you have heard about game theory, so it is one of those theories which says that some public goods which are non-expendable, which are non-excludable, for example, roads, parks, or let's say defense. So the theory says when in a group of people, let's say you have 100 people, and 100 people are paying for some service, but let's say there are a few people who are not paying their share. So let's say out of the 100, 90 are paying their share, and the system will still work because it does not require all of them to pay for the system to work. And in that case, 10 people are roughly sort of free riders which are not paying for the service. You can find those examples everywhere. You can sort of look at, for example, roads. Not everyone is paying taxes. I mean, not direct taxes, but there is an disproportionate share of money which is going for those roads. And you can look at defense. You can look at public spaces. So these are some goods which are non-excludable. These are public goods. That means you as an individual do not require or are not required to pay for it, and you can still use it. But on the same hand, if the number of free riders increase, for say let's say from 90 out of 100 it goes up to 50 out of 100, in that case the system will sort of collapse. And that is why it's called the free rider problem, that uh, some number of individuals will be absorbed by the system. We will be taken care of, but uh, the system does not work when you have a lot of those free riders. So I was able to explain this to the children by taking an example of public spaces like parks. So for example, let's say out of 10 people, 9 people are cleaning after themselves. They are going to the park. They are uh, let's say they're eating packaged goods like chips, chocolates. They're consuming some items, and so what they're doing is that out of 10 people, 9 people are throwing the trash in the dustbin, and you have one individual who thinks that he's pretty smart, and he does not require to put the trash in his pocket, and he just litters around. So that one person is a free rider right now, and the system will still survive. You'll see that there is some little amount of trash in the park, uh, like but the park is still usable, right? You can still go there, you can still sit, you can chat with the friends, you can still play. uh, there is no uh, there is no such area which you cannot use. But issue starts to arise when, let's say, out of 10, 7 people are now throwing trash in the dustbin, and 3 people are just sort of littering. And now what you'll see is that after some time, uh, a small portion of the park is not usable because you have 3 free riders who are using the park, who are not picking after themselves, who are littering it down, and you have due to that you have some area in the park which is not usable. So this as a whole tells me that, let's say if the number of free riders increase from 7 to, let's say, 5, then in that case you will have pockets of area in the park which cannot be used any further. And this is what I think is happening right now, with the area or the locality around which I was teaching. And individuals were sort of losing trust in one another, and and by that I mean that they were losing trust in the system, that the number of free riders were increasing at a rate at which either the people who are following the rules will now have to pick the trash or do the chores for the other people, or you will need a third party like a government to start enforcing fines, or to sort of make sure everyone is following those rules. And this is where I feel that right now what's happening is that you have a layer in the society where people are slowly losing trust in one another. You will see that the reason you are able to drive on the roads is because you trust the other person, that they are driving in their lane or they're following traffic rules, and that when there's a green light, you don't have to think a lot that probably someone will jump and hit you and you'll be in an accident, but that doesn't happen. So that is the trust you are putting in the other person by driving on the road. And rightfully so, it is very much required for the society to sort of work, and the as the number of free riders increase it will be very tough to sort of maintain that balance. So while I was explaining all of this, one of the children asked me that why is there a lack of, why do I think there's a lack of trust in the society, or in general, like why would that be the reason that you go around, you don't expect anyone to just sort of attack you. So why do I think that there's a lack of trust, or why there, that shouldn't sort of explain that why is there trash on the road. So I told him that probably we can discuss that in the next class. And I came back and then I started reading about it. And I think it has a lot to do with empathy, because when you start losing trust in one another, you sort of also start losing empathy for that person, because you're not able to imagine like what the other person is going to feel, or what the other person will have to go through. So for example, you will not throw trash on the road, on the park, if you know that someone will have to clean that up, or you expect that it is not a big deal for others to do that for me. And that shows a lack of empathy. And also think about what was the last time and now I'm not sure that why this lack of empathy, like where this lack of empathy is coming from. Probably I'll read more about it and share with you guys next time.